What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again. All right, let's get into it. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another Blu-ray and DVD update video. Now, y'all don't know it, but I recorded this video like 2 different times. The first time I watched it back, didn't like my performance in it. Second time, I accidentally deleted it when I felt like I got it right. So hopefully, in this case, third time's the charm. But y'all already know, man, even if you're not subscribed to the channel, like the title basically says what we about to get into, so I ain't gonna talk too much. Let's get to these movies and TV shows, and let me say, 2 of my finds for this month has been amazing. Like, I love these 2, but I'll get to them when I get to them. So, all right, the first movie we have for this month is Monkey Man, the Dev Patel directed, Jordan Peele produced movie. I think this one came out last year, and pretty much a lot of people, when I especially remember when this came out, a lot of people kept comparing it to John Wick, saying that this is basically the Indian John Wick. And while I would say some of the fight scenes can have a similar vibe to John Wick, I would say that this is definitely more story driven. Like John Wick, you already know what you show up for. Like, you know, you just show up for the action. But for this movie, you know, the trailer probably made you show up for the action, but when you actually watch it, you do get a really good story to it. This is the Blu-ray and this is the DVD. So yeah, like it does give a very John Wick vibe in certain cases, but for the most part, it is very story oriented. And if you've never seen it, don't go into this thinking that it's just another John Wick type movie. Like, this really is an action movie with a pretty good story, in my opinion. And before I move on to the next one, I just want to say, Jordan Peele, thank you. Thank you for saving this movie, because this movie was originally supposed to go straight to Netflix, but Jordan Peele saw the movie. He picked it up through his Monkey Paw Productions, and he distributed it to theaters. So thank you for saving this movie, because this is a movie that truly deserved to be watched on a big screen. I mean, now it's obviously physically released, but even if you can't watch it in a theater or anything like that, like just home media, it's the best way to watch it. I can't imagine watching this just on streaming. So, yeah. Next, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And I think this one came out 2 years ago. This was produced by Seth Rogen, and he really wanted to make like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that would like focus heavily on like the teenage aspect of the turtles. And I would say he did a pretty good job at it. Like, this movie really did do, and that's what the Blu-ray looked like, you know, other slip stuff. But this movie did a really good job at pretty much depicting like youth in inner cities and stuff like that. Like, it really did a good job at really making the turtles feel like real teenagers. So yeah, I'm a very picky person when it comes to the Ninja Turtles. Like, different iterations, I'll either love them or either I just won't like them at all. Like, my favorite iterations of the Turtles are the 90s movies, because those are the ones I grew up on. The 2003 series, like the old one that used to show on Cartoon Network, like that one. I did like the original cartoon, but that wasn't my time, so I didn't like it as much as, you know, other people. But yeah, like when it in terms of like my favorite iterations of the Turtles, these these guys, this version of the Turtles, they are very much up there. I can't put it over the '03 and the 90s movies. I can't, but I can say that I do love this version of the Turtles. And if you're a fan of the Ninja Turtles, definitely check this out, because this was very well received when it first came out. And I can't wait for the sequel that they're going to make at some point. I know they have a Paramount Plus spin-off series. I never seen it, but you know, honestly, now that I have the movie, maybe I'll rewatch this, and if I feel like continuing with the show, then yeah. Next, we have the Friday collection DVD. Now, if you've seen my first physical media video where I showed you all the movies that I had at that point, I already owned the first Friday movie on Blu-ray. But because of Mike Epps, he went to, I think, the Breakfast Club. He went on a radio station recently, and he said that last Friday is finally getting started in production. Like apparently, Ice Cube finally made a deal with I think it's New Line Cinemas or something like that, and Warner Brothers. It's one of the two. Um, Ice Cube finally came to like a deal with them so that they can finally get started with Last Friday. So I was sitting there thinking, how am I going to own the first movie, but I'm not going to own the second and third movie? So at first, I was trying to get the second and third movie on Blu-ray. The second movie is on Blu-ray, but the third movie only has a DVD release. And then also, this was only $5. So I was in here thinking, why pay for that when I could just get the whole collection just for $5, especially since I can't even get Friday After Next on Blu-ray. So I might as well just get both sequels on DVD for a cheap price. And that's what this is. I got this $5 at Walmart, which I be forgetting to tell y'all where I got these. These were also from Walmart. I think this is on a sale right now as of me recording this. Dang, but I released this at the end of the month. So, I mean, I don't know if the sale is still there. By the time you're watching this, definitely check if this movie is still on sale. But I got both of these from Walmart. Same with this one, but this was like a $5, DVD. That's the back right there. They're showing stills from all three of the movies. And then the discs ain't really nothing too special. You got Friday and the next Friday right there. And then you got Friday After Next right there. So yeah, it's nice to have the whole movie collection. I just wish that, Friday After Next was on Blu-ray. That way I could have had both on Blu-ray. But who knows? If in the future, I love the Friday series enough to where if in the future they have like a complete series re-release, or if they have a, Friday After Next Blu-ray release, like then I'll go buy next Friday and Friday After Next. But until then, this is what I'm going with. So yeah. Now, here is where the pickups that I'm the most excited for is. And the first one is The Get Down. If you've ever seen it on Netflix, The Get Down is basically a series about the creation of hip hop. But here's the thing, and this is going to be a weird comparison, but here's the thing, it kind of takes an Assassin's Creed approach telling the real story of the creation of hip hop. And when I say Assassin's Creed approach, if you ever played Assassin's Creed, you know how they'll depict like real people and real time periods, but they'll have like the main character be fake, but like we're still watching real events through his, eyes and stuff like that. That's basically what the Get Down is. Like this guy, his friends, and then this character, like all fake characters, but it is still a story that's being told about the real creation of hip hop through these characters. So yeah, the Get Down, out of all the Netflix originals, which I'm not really a big fan of Netflix originals, I'm gonna keep it real, like movies, TV shows. There's some that I like, but like I don't really like too many Netflix originals. But out of all the Netflix original series, this is easily my favorite, and I will never forgive them for canceling this show. But yeah, the Get Down, if you're a big fan of hip hop, if you love like rap and stuff like that, definitely check out this show. It is a very interesting show. I remember when this first came out, I used to watch the episodes with my dad, and like my dad would like literally tell me, because like I said, it depicts a lot of real life situations around the creation of hip hop. So like he would literally watch, and the show uses a lot of archival footage from back in the day. So he would watch the episodes with me, and he would tell me stories like, oh yeah, I remember this happened. I was there to see that. I was there to see this. So it's a very interesting series, especially if you love the creation, like if you love hip hop and you want to know like some of the aspects about how it was made, definitely check out this show. I'm sitting here gushing over this show, but I'm not even showing y'all the inside. So there we go. That's one of them. Now, here's the thing. You guys are probably noticing as I'm showing y'all, there is different accolades, nominations, and stuff like that. And that is because this is a for your consideration copy of the show. The show never officially got physically released. This is a for your consideration copy. And for your consideration, and those are all like the nominees and stuff like that. So for your consideration copies for shows or movies, if you guys are into physically collecting media, then you guys probably already know what it is. But for people that don't know, for your consideration copies are basically like copies that studios will send out to press and out to like people that pick like the winners for award shows. Basically, they send these copies out so that they can watch whatever media, they want to win, and try to up the odds for like the press and like other people to pick what should win or not. That's why you see all these different like categories and names of people that worked on shows and stuff like that on here. So honestly, this is not an official release for the Get Down, but it's the closest thing you're going to get because, like I said, it never got officially released. And like I said, I'm not too big of a fan of Netflix stuff, and I don't use Netflix. I don't subscribe to Netflix. The only streaming service I have right now is Paramount Plus, and I'm thinking about getting Amazon Prime again. But Netflix, I don't really like too much of their service. I only like the things they acquire. I don't really like a lot of their originals, and I don't use Netflix unless I'm at my mom's house, which I'm using her Netflix. So I was just like, how am I going to continue to watch The Get Down if I don't have Netflix? And this is a very good thing. Like, I'm glad I found this online, which, guys, be careful where you buy for your consideration copies of stuff because, like I said, these aren't really for the public. This is for like the press and stuff like that. So like these aren't for the public, and people will resell these because they're rare items. People will resell these for crazy amounts of money. I got this, I think, for like $25, $30, not that much. But I've seen this being on resale for like 80 to 100. So it's like sometimes you really got to look before you press buy. Like, I encourage people, look around before you press buy because there could be another person selling what you want for a cheaper price. So, and speaking of that lesson, here's the last movie in my update that also applies to that lesson, and that is Ready or Not by Radio Silence. So this movie, I think, came out in like 2019, I think. Yeah, I think it did come out in 2019. And pretty much, if you don't know what this movie is about, it's about her. She gets married into this family where you're required to play a game. Um, Once you get into the family, and if you win the game, then hey, you're rightfully part of the family. If not, then I'm gonna just let you watch the movie. But pretty much they're playing a game of hide and seek, and it seems kiddie and childish, but really the rest of the family has to try to kill her, and she has to survive basically the whole night. This is what the disc looked like. Very basic disc. And this movie is a really good movie if you've never seen it. And I keep saying it's made by Radio Silence, which, if you know that directing team, basically they did the newer Scream movies, Scream 5 and 6. They've done Abigail, which literally I talked about in my last wait, did I? I think I did talk about Abigail in my last one. I don't remember. But basically they done Scream 5 and 6, they done Abigail. Um there's another movie I know they done. I'm forgetting right now, but basically, if you like those movies, if you like the vibe of those movies, then definitely check out Ready or Not. Really great film. But when I said sometimes you really need to look before you press buy, let me tell you, this movie was very hard to get, and I remember this was one of the like first few movies I was trying to get when I first started getting into physical media collecting last year, and what made this movie so hard to get is I'm guessing this is out of print. Like the American version of the Blu-rays are out of print, which for newbies, I gotta explain this. But each Blu-ray or DVD or whatever, they have a region lock. So this is region A, and I think region A is like American Blu-ray players and DVDs. Basically, discs will be region locked, so that way you can only play it in like a US Blu-ray player, like for example. So I'm guessing this movie was out of print. I've seen people say online that this movie is out of print. So like I've seen people like resell these like versions of the movie for like I said with the Get Down, like hundreds of dollars. I've seen this movie go for like 50 to 150. Like I've seen some crazy prices for this movie. And then also, even if you could find the movie for a cheap price, like before I was about to buy this version, I use Walmart and Amazon a lot to buy my physical media. So like I was searching for Ready or Not, and I would see like import versions that were supported with different regions and stuff like that. So just when I'm about to buy one of those versions, people would like buy it and it would sell out real fast. Now, luckily, I got lucky with this copy because I also buy from this website called Deep Discount. And luckily, they had this version for like, I think $20, $15 to $20. It was very cheap compared to a lot of the resellers' prices. So, when I say definitely look around before you buy any movie thinking that this is the last resort or anything like that, please, I encourage y'all look around. You don't want to break your bank for these movies. I know they're very rare copies and I know it's hard to buy movies sometimes, but like look around because the main thing is you do not want to break your bank for something that somebody else could be selling so much cheaper. And then if you've seen that cheaper version, you would be like, damn, I really messed up. So, yeah, that's the moral of the story with these two. Look around before you press purchase because, like I said, someone is going to be out there selling these cheaper. But yeah, that's all for this month, for the month of March. Um, Not nearly as much as I did in my last video, but pretty much I'm still trying to be financially responsible. Like, even though I have the means to buy more Blu-rays if I really wanted to, I ain't rich. I ain't really about to break my bank for this. So pretty much, yeah, trying to be financially responsible. So don't expect too many like movies or DVDs in my update videos. Like I'm just being real with y'all. It is what it is with that. But yeah, if you've seen any of the things that that I've talked about in this video, definitely, let me know down below how y'all feel about it. Um, Once again, I say this at the end of every video. Thank you guys to the new subs, the people that supporting the channel and stuff like that. I do encourage new subscribers. I do encourage new viewers. Do not subscribe just off of my Blu-ray collection videos. Like, don't subscribe off the first video that you watch. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at you if you do, but don't do it because I'm someone I like for you guys to like really rock with me. So like, look at all my other content and judge from there if you guys really want to join the team. But yeah. Regardless of that, like, thank you guys for the support. Like I said, let me know how y'all feel about these films and TV shows. And yeah, man. With all that being said, Tevin Jameer signing out. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.